What's up, world? It's your boy, Jerron Eichner, back again for another video for Starstruck TV. This one I'm super excited about because this is one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. If you are a Jerron Eichner fan or a Black One fan, then you know that I love The Matrix. I know everything about it. I played all the games, I've read all the comics, I've watched the side stories. Only thing I haven't really done is play the online game that came out after the last Matrix, but everything else, man, I am well deep into the Matrix lore. It's one of my favorite universes in the history of entertainment, period. So with that said, I am super excited to talk about this new teaser trailer that's coming out on Thursday. I wasn't gonna wait until Thursday before the trailer came out. But there seems to be a lot of information that we can gather from what they've done so far. So if you're not in the loop, go to whatisthematrix.com. And when you go to that page, you will see that you have your choice of choosing your two different types of pills. You can choose a red pill or a blue pill. As you know, if you follow the Matrix lore, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. And basically, when you choose these pills, you get a voiceover from two separate characters. One of the characters I'm pretty sure is Neil Patrick Harris' character, who is confirmed to be a therapist for Keanu Reeves' Neo. And I think that the dialogue that you're hearing is him talking to Neo, explaining that, this world that you have like some delusions of grandeur, things like that. And then what's interesting about this particular website and what they're doing is that depending on the time of day that you go on, the character will say the time. He'll be like, oh, it's 11:46 or whatever, which is pretty cool. But anyways, so after this little monologue from said character on the blue pill side, you were treated to a series of quick shots from the upcoming trailer. What's interesting about this is that apparently if you go to this site and click on the pill again, you get different scenes. According to what I've read online, there's actually 108,000 different scenes or combinations of these scenes that you can get when you go to this website and click on this trailer. It's pretty crazy. So if you click on that one, you get the blue pill side, right? And if you go to the back to the website and click on the red pill, you get what I believe to be the young version of Morpheus, doing a voiceover, basically convincing you that the red pill was the right decision, the whole world's an illusion, and then once again you're treated to a series of individual shots from the trailer that's supposed to drop this Thursday. So already people are posting trailer clips online, etc., so forth. I've been keeping up with this movie pretty extensively over the last couple months, to the point where I have my own theories of how this movie is going to play out, based off of what I know so far, and I'm going to share them with you. That's why we're here, right? So it was announced a couple weeks ago that the movie was called Resurrection, which fits the theme of the previous movies with the Reloaded and the other one, which I can't think of right now. But the point is that Resurrections, very clear title here. It's clear that we are seeing, based off the shots in the trailer, the Matrix world has been rebuilt. One of the things I noticed, and this is kind of like a small detail on some nerd type of stuff, but the color correction and the sunset type of look that we see in this film, like there's a couple shots. There's a scene in particular where we see, I believe, Neo about to step off a building, and you have this sunset type of look. There's a couple of wide shots of the city where you have this sunset type of look. That sunset type of look is the same look that we get at the very last shot of the movie of Matrix Reloaded. And this is the scene where the architect talks to the Oracle. They're in the same type of sunsetish type of area that we're seeing throughout this trailer. So to me, my theory is that we're going to be seeing the 7th iteration of the Matrix. And this opens up a whole bunch of theories, because if you remember the speech from the architect, he gives his whole speech basically talking about how the Matrix has been reset multiple times. This is the 6th iteration, and every single time something happens to where they have to reset it. Boom. So at the end of the previous Matrix series, Neo makes the decision to go and make a deal with the robots, and basically they decide to use Neo to reset the Matrix. And at the end of the Matrix, you see a reset version of the Matrix. The Matrix is not destroyed at the end of the movie, it's just reset. And if you follow the lore of the video game that came out afterwards, in Matrix Online, basically you play a character who is basically trying to go around and get rid of certain like viruses slash ghosts that exist in the Matrix still, while also trying to reassemble Neo. Now, if the Matrix Online game plays a role in all this, which I don't think it will, that would be interesting. But what I think we're seeing is actually just a literal reset of the Matrix universe, where we have a brand new Neo, we have a brand new Trinity, a brand new Morpheus, brand new characters that are not necessarily new, but rather just like a multiverse version of these characters. So, he's a little bit older. Everybody's a little bit older. This is what it is. But what's interesting about this, it makes you wonder what the previous iterations of the Matrix was like. Did they all look like Neo? Did they all look like Trinity? And for all we know, Neo and Trinity in this film may not actually even be the one, right? Like, it could be another character that hasn't been introduced yet. We see who I believe to be a younger Morpheus in this trailer, which to me is a really big tell, because, I mean, obviously Lawrence Fishburne just didn't do the movie, but the fact that they made Morpheus younger is indicative of things not being what they seem. And a couple of my theories is that, or I should say my main theory is that Neo slash Mr. Anderson is trapped in some type of false universe that's outside the Matrix or within the Matrix itself. And Neil Patrick Harris' character is almost like a therapist agent designed to keep him intact, keep him taking the blue pills, etc. and so forth. I dissected a couple of these shots online, and there's one shot in particular that really, really kind of blew my mind. And it's really quick, very, very slow. I mean, all the shots are quick, but it's really, really quick. And it shows Neo, or Mr. Anderson, in the bathroom. He's about to take a blue pill. He pulls the blue pill up, and as he takes it, if you look in the reflection of the mirror, you actually see an older version of him. And I think that is almost like the biggest tell here, that things aren't quite what they seem. Like, even with the dream-esque sunsets and the way that everything's looking in this film, it almost feels like it's almost too perfect. And if you remember what the architect said with the previous iterations of the Matrix, that it's one of those things where the Matrix sometimes was just too perfect, and they had to reset it. So this kind of brings me to one of my theories, in the sense that maybe this isn't the 7th iteration of the Matrix. Maybe it's a previous iteration. I think that's the mind-blowing plot twist, would be that this is actually maybe this is the 3rd version or the 2nd version, or hell, maybe this is even the 1st version of the Matrix, where everything just seems a little bit too perfect. And we're seeing the dissonance in Neo as he navigates. But it's very clear that from the few shots that we've seen, that the Matrix as we know it still exists. We see Sentinels. That means that there's still an outside, which means that there's still probably Zion. We see Morpheus's character doing some things. So it's clear that the whole structure of the robotic overlords is still there. And so I just keep thinking about the conversation that Neo had with the architect in the 2nd Matrix movie, where he talks about how this is a constant loop. And the things that don't quite add up is the fact that Neo is basically back again in his universe as Mr. Anderson. He's older now. The few shots that we've seen of him, he seems to be distressed, and almost like he was before he unlocked the Matrix in the previous film. But I think the biggest clues are in the backgrounds, like the way that everything looks. It feels almost like a dream set. It almost kind of reminds me of Vanilla Sky, where, like, Vanilla Sky, if you guys remember that movie, that movie was almost about a dream world that Tom Cruise navigated. And that's the vibe that I get from this, is that this Neo that we're seeing, it's not the same Neo that we're seeing from the previous Matrix movies, nor do I think it's a Neo from the future. I think we're seeing a previous Neo, and that's my whole theory. And if I'm right, you can come back and give me a like and subscribe. I don't know, but I'm super duper hella mad, just insanely excited for this film. just in general, this year has been awesome for entertainment. We're getting new movies from Spider-Man, The Matrix. We got Dune out right now. Like, it's very, very awesome for the film industry, despite the things that are going on in the world. When they announced that this movie was coming out, I was just mind blown that they first of all that they were even going to go this route. But now I'm confident that this movie will be mind blowing if executed correctly. And the previous Matrix films, the last two, they had their missteps, but I have faith in this simply because of the fact that the story and the universe that this movie derives from is very, very strong. The only thing that I get nervous about is that we wind up in a Terminator situation where we keep trying to reset this universe because this movie didn't work out, but we still want to keep a hold of the franchise, so we keep bringing it back. Kind of similar. That's my biggest fear right now is that they might Terminator this franchise in an attempt to keep it alive. But this movie's kind of make or break for the franchise, and one thing that's kind of interesting. This is a complete side note on this, but Hideo Kojima just retweeted the website as well, and I started thinking about the video games that are gonna come out from this movie. If Kojima did a Metal Gear Solid video game, that would be lit. I would, brosive. I'm thinking about it right now. It's gonna be crazy. Anyways, I digress. Let me know what you guys think about the Matrix trailer. Is it lit? Was it trash? If you think it's trash, you're dumb. First of all, don't at me. But tell me what you think. What are your theories? What do you think is going to happen with Neo, Trinity, all these characters, Morpheus? Who's Neil Patrick Harris' character? How lit is the website? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe. We're going to be back again with more videos, more stuff. Starstruck TV. We in this mofo. Love you. See you soon. Peace.